toi utos estin, hon enediso ekthron hitona. Such is the hateful or hostile clothing which you have put on, you have clothed yourself with. This is a middle aorist. So Hermes is now summarizing what went before. Nothing in the list from the last episode was positive. And he's going to continue now. Anchon se kato pros auton, hina me anablepsas, kai te asamenos to kalos tes aletheas, kai to enkemenon agaton, mi seses ten tu kakian. So this hostile clothing, pinning you, of course he's addressing us, but the text says, pinning you down against itself, so that it has a purpose in doing this. So that, again, looking up, this goes back to the metaphor we talked about before, anablepsas, looking up. You might think about the ending of Dionysius's mystical theology, where he keeps saying, ascending further, thinking of going up to the sun, the source. So looking up and to the source, understood, and the asamenos, and contemplating the beauty of truth and the goodness that lies within. So doing these things so that this hostile clothing is keeping us pinned down so we don't look up. We don't aspire to the source. We don't contemplate the beauty or the good that lies within us. So keeping us from doing that so that me seses, this may goes all the way over here, so that you don't hate its evil, its badness, its lack of virtue. And we won't hate it because we don't know any better, if we don't know the source. Noesas autu ten epibulein, knowing its plan, hein epibu lucesoi, ta docunta aisteteria an aisteta poion, te pole hile auta apophraxas, kai misaras hedones emplesas. So we don't know, not having known its plan, which it's plotted against you. Of course, that's us. Making, now this part's a little tricky. It's not that impossible. I am not a Greek wizard. Making, first of all, if we leave off ta docunta, making aisteteria, our organs of sense, an aisteta, unable to perceive. Sort of like if we took poion with anaisteta, it's anesthetizing our organs of sense. Now, the organs of sense are described as ta docunta, or those things which are deemed to be the organs of sense. Now, I don't know if there's some shade of meaning that would imply that these are deemed to be the organs of sense, but they're not, or just what's commonly considered to be our organs of sense, they're being anesthetized. And they're being anesthetized by blocking them up, apophraxas, auta, te pole, hile, with much matter, with a lot of matter. Hile, I think, originally meant wood and came to mean matter more generally. And of course, this word is found in Berkeley's dialogues between Hylas and Philonous. The mind lover and Hylas would be kind of the person who is supporting the viewpoint that there is such a thing as matter. Kai misaras hedones emplesas, and filling them up, or having filled them up, takes the genitive misaras hedones, with pleasures, with like base pleasures. Hina me te acues perihon acuen sede, me te blepes perihon blepen sede. And again, a purpose clause here, doing all of this so that you don't hear concerning the things which you should hear, and so that you don't see the things which you should see. In Buddhism, a savaka is a hearer, one who has heard or listens to the teaching. This is exactly what, if we personify, if we were to go with Mara, this is exactly what Mara does not want us to hear. The things that we should hear about and the things that we should actually see would allow us to notice or know that we are bound to this wheel of birth and death, of suffering, and it would also cause us to want to seek out true liberation. So that's it. That concludes this amazing, short little exhortation by Hermes. It's very powerful. And one reason that I think it's actually extremely powerful is because it could be read by about anyone, and it is not extremely specific. I think a Christian could read this, a Muslim could read this, a Buddhist, Hindu. I think even certain types of, quote, atheists could read it and get a very positive message from this. Like, the diagnosis is the current situation is not good. You are actually ill. And the prognosis is find a true teaching, find actual gnosis, seek out liberation. There are obviously more popular books of the Hermetica. The first one is very well known, and I would say we will probably investigate a little bit of it. It's a lot longer, but book 13 deals with kind of being born again, and that, of course, has parallels with the Gospel of John, chapter 3, when Yeshua, or Jesus, or Jesus, talks with Nicodemus. So that is it for today. I would very much love to hear anyone's comments on this or any aspect of the Hermetica. Peace, everyone.